Can healing your nervous system help you to manifest the life of your dreams? The answer is yes, and today we are getting into it. Hey there, my name is Jen. I am a coach, healer, and creator of The Aligned Life. Welcome to Aligned TV. I am so happy to have you here. Now, I have been on a self-healing journey for like a decade now, perhaps even longer, and I have done so much work on myself during this time. But one of the things that has really shifted my life from the inside out has been nervous system regulation work, or polyvagal healing, or vagus nerve stimulation, whatever you want to call it. But I get it. Those words are big and scary. And sometimes when I start to talk about nervous system or vagus nerve, the spiritual people in particular can kind of tune out. Like, I don't really care about this medical mumbo jumbo. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm just going to ignore this part of the equation. Inside my Healed program, I have done my best to incorporate this work in because again, it has shifted so much for me. And I really wanted to make a video today talking about this connection, because if you are feeling like you can't make progress in one area of your life, and for many people, this is love or money or both, because these things are all interlinked. If you are feeling stuck in any of these areas, then my question is, have you done any nervous system regulation work? At the very minimum, you should know what your go-to stress response is. So if you are feeling threatened or afraid, what does your body want to do? Does it go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? Fight is like wanting to yell back at somebody, call somebody names, or actually physically fight them. Flight is when you want to run away, when you want to just go to the other room, turn your phone off, or whatever. Freeze is when you literally feel like you can't do anything. You just want to go and rot in your bed. Fawn is where you get this overwhelming urge to placate the other person. You put all of your attention on them and trying to make them happy, so therefore you can start to feel happy again. That is a very short overview of the trauma responses. But what you really need to know here is that you are going to probably have a dominant one. When you are feeling stressed out in your life, like what happens? And the interesting thing about this is if you are fight or flight, you probably have a lot of anxiety. And if you have freeze as your dominant response, you probably sink into depression. So these things are linked to some of the more standard psychological categories that you have probably heard of before. But wait, again, what does this have to do with manifestation? So now you know what a dysregulated nervous system looks like. What I need you to know is that you are going to be subconsciously pushing away anything that makes you feel a little bit dysregulated, especially if you have no idea how to deal with this physical response. So basically, when you are being activated in this way, it's like your conscious brain shuts down. We literally don't have access to our conscious planning mind, which is why things might look really illogical and crazy to someone on the outside. But it's not you driving the car. It's like your lizard brain, the really old part of your brain that has existed when we were just like small little organisms. Like that part of your brain is all about survival. So when you are in an activated state, when you feel yourself getting stressed out, when you feel yourself going into fight, flight, or freeze, you are not in control. And in fact, you are probably doing things to self-sabotage your own success. However, if you do not learn how to deal with this, if you don't understand polyvagal theory, this stuff is going to keep happening to you. And it's going to feel like the universe is working against you. Like, why can't I change my life? Why can't I make these things that I want to have? Why can't I make them happen? But change is always scary. And when you are trying to create massive change in your life, like manifesting a lot of money, up-leveling yourself in your career, you are not going to feel comfortable. You are probably going to feel very afraid a lot of the time. And this is the piece of manifestation that I think we just don't talk enough about. Like, we talk about addressing your fears in your subconscious brain, but even that doesn't go deep enough. Because when your body takes over, when your little lizard brain takes over and makes you want to run away or freeze, then you really don't have any control over your life. Learning about polyvagal theory is going to help to give you that control back. Now, I say this with caution because an issue that happens when we come into this stuff is that people think that we can just be regulated all the time and that the goal of regulation is that I will never feel upset, I will never get stressed out, I will never have a trauma response. And so that is untrue. You are always going to have trauma responses, but what we are going to learn is how to manage yours better. So when you know what this is and you know how to manage it, when you get into that stressed out state and you start to feel uncomfortable because you are trying new things, because you are taking risks, because you are failing, because you are learning and growing, these bumps in the road are not going to hold you back any longer. You are going to become in many ways invincible because at the end of the day, we avoid doing things because we are afraid of how we will feel. It is never about the failure. It is never about the mistake. It is never about any of that we're trying to avoid. It is about how we will feel about it. And the most fundamental feeling is that feeling of either inner safety or inner threat. Manifestation fundamentally involves you going big. It involves you stepping out of your little comfortable box and to ask more in your life. Ask for more in money, work, career, travel, whatever. But even though you consciously want that, you have no practice right now or little practice being that person and having that kind of life. So what you really need to do is to start to prep your body and your nervous system to intake more. So for example, if you are trying to manifest a higher level position in a job, that might mean taking on more responsibility, that might mean managing a team, and that might mean having more money in your bank account. And all of these little things can be perceived as stressful and therefore scary, and therefore we want to push them away as fast as we can. So even though that is something that your conscious brain very much wants, your body is not on board with it. And these are a lot of changes all at once, right? And that's just one example. So there are lots of changes that you will have to encounter if you want to up-level your career or have more money in general. And you're going to have to learn how to expand your capacity. When people talk about expanding your capacity and manifestation, this is really what they should be talking about. Expanding your capacity to feel discomfort and to take action anyway. That doesn't come from just being brave and learning how to do things, although that can help because you're proving to yourself that you can do it. But it mostly comes from learning how to feel calmer in your body. So I'm going to give you a quick exercise here to help you to feel more calm within your body, no matter what your particular trauma response might be. And that is my favorite tool for regulation on the go, and that is box breathing. So what you're going to do is going to imagine a little box in front of you. You're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. So we are doing this little box. It's just an easy way to remember it. Really what this is doing is allowing your breath to slow down so that your body gets the signal that it is safe. I know people roll their eyes at the concept of just breathing to help them feel better, but it is actually effective. It's scientifically proven. When you get upset and stressed out, your breathing automatically gets really short and shallow, and you are always taking very short inhales compared to your exhale. What you really want to concentrate on is extending the inhale, and in this case, matching both of them up. That is a signal of calm. That is a signal of stability. And if you just stay in that mode of breathing in slowly, that is going to help to calm you down. And yes, you can do this anytime, anywhere. If you are trying to manifest something big and there's a stressful meeting at work, try this out. Let's stop self-sabotaging because of our lizard brain. This is a tool that is going to help you to do that. And that's why if you are into manifestation, I highly recommend learning how to do this. If you are interested in more, I have a whole workshop on polyvagal healing inside my Healed program. So I will leave a link for that in the show notes. But basically you get access to that workshop, manifestation workshops, audios, hypnosis, so many tools that are going to help you on your healing journey. And I'd love to see you inside. So be sure to go check it out. If you're not ready for that, however, I do have something else for you. I have created a free Notion manifestation planner for you. If you are interested in getting started with manifestation and you want to get organized and you want a place to look at your goals and your blocks and your tools, this is a great dashboard for you. So you can come and get that as well, absolutely for free. I'll leave a link for that in the show notes. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, share with a friend. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.